Hello, this is Daniel Zwain for Public Speaking class at Full Sail University. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some podcasts and web series on the internet that are great public speakers. First, I'm going to talk about Neurotically Yours. Neurotically Yours is a webtoon that artist Jim Mathers posts online every week telling the tales of a young gothic girl and a talking squirrel named Foamy that is her self-proclaimed superior. Foamy often does what viewers call a foamy rant, where he gives his critique on certain aspects of the world around him. He often longs for the simpler, more underground aspects, however. He often talks about how privately owned coffee shops are no longer around, things like of that nature, the old movie stores, mom and pop shops, older America as opposed to the more technology-driven age we have now. Foamy often uses the pathos way of reaching his audience. By explaining the aspects of previous culture he's liked, he establishes nostalgia and good feelings. This makes the audience remember previous aspects of days long ago and remember the good feelings from those times. Next, I'll talk about Zero Punctuation. Zero Punctuation is a podcast where game critic Ben Croshaw reviews modern-day video games for his audience. Ben uses the pathos and the logos to review his games. He'll often describe his experience within the game to give the viewers an understanding of why he feels the game is bad or good. Ben tries to appeal to your emotions and what you personally call fun and entertainment based on your perspective. By describing his bad experiences, you as a viewer create the opinion that the game will not be fun because it wasn't fun for this critic. He also likes to point out small technical issues or bugs that ruin the experience for him. This points to a more logical persuasion because it's presenting more technical-based facts rather than reviewing plot or gameplay. Finally, I'll be talking about Escape to the Movies. Escape to the Movies is a podcast where professional movie critic Bob Chipman expresses his reviews of recent movies in theaters. Like most people persuading an opinion, Bob uses pathos to draw in his audience's feelings. He uses his warm and humorous nature to make the audience feel warm and trusting of his opinion. He also addresses logos by pointing out if the movie has a bad script and why, or if the movie's direction was terrible. He points out any small technical flaws as well. So all three of these guys have visual aids that they use to represent their arguments. While all three of these podcasts have strong visual aids in their own right, they do have small flaws. Neurotically Yours, more often than not, has Foamy just doing his rant in front of a matte-style background, a drawing. While it gives the impression that he's talking, to you, it at the same time makes him feel like he's talking to no one, like he's talking to out in space. If he tried to make if he tried to address the audience more personally, that would help him out. Zero Punctuation, while it has a lot of very funny visuals, they're kind of distracting. Some of what they do is a little over the top, so it can distract you from the actual critique of the video game. I think if Ben made his visuals more on key with what he's talking about, they can still be humorous, but just a little bit more relating to the subject matter, that would be perfect. And as for Bob usually has the trailer of the movie he's critiquing running in the background. He cuts out the audio from the trailer and just has the visual of it while he talks over it. And I think that works best because you're seeing what the movie looks like visually while also hearing this trusted critique of the movie so you can get what the experience of the film is going to be like. Finally, I think that it's very good and very professional to have good lighting and a non-distracting background. You want as plain a background as possible when doing a podcast. You don't want to draw anything away from the person speaking. You want to just keep it simple, have a wall, bare wall is fine. And when you speak, when you do a podcast, you want to have light that can show your full face because it makes you look more professional, makes it look like you're taking things seriously. This has been Daniel Zwain. and I hope you've enjoyed my presentation.